Hello, everyone.
Hello, Ralph.
Hello, Bart. So, guys, as you can see, it's a little bit different presentation than it was in history of our webinars. So today we are doing something, I would say, different in different quality. Yeah, just before we get started, we'll wait for the participants which have registered with to this session. But we will do a bit of small talk because we have quite a few things which we would like to share with you guys. First is that this is a new quality of the presentation of the webinars which we'll be producing for you guys. So we are hoping that you will enjoy that. Of course, you can use right now the chat section if you are seeing us and hearing us correctly. And yeah, but we had like a Charlotte, a community meeting.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah,
the community,
it was definitely awesome.
Big thing. Over 5,000 people joining us. This is a big thing. And I think this was the biggest success since beginnings when customers and actually partners were showing showcases on executive automates.
Exactly.
Not only we were presenting, but also our partners to the occasion to do case study. And I think, Rafael, you did also.
Yeah, we have a chance and do that case study with our customers. So Amy, thank you for that from Letterman. So yeah, it will be posted soon in our LinkedIn page. So also hoping that you will be enjoying that. So yeah, I'm just checking the chat section if we have some comments already that everything's just fine.
And I think the big thing is
the big thing.
That is something which stays actually here between us. That's a sign that we went through initial public offering. So congrats team, congrats whole company that we've been able to achieve the main stock market.
Yeah.
So feel free to join us there as well.
So thank you for this is like thanks to all our organization, because this is like a huge thing too, and so a big step forward for us as the organization. So thank you for that, and thank you for helping us to achieve that. So yeah, I just want to check if we have like already some comments here. Okay, it seems like that everything is working, so I think we can jump and start with the presentation. So you're already hearing us, you already seeing us correctly. I hope that you enjoy this new quality. Of course, use the chat section whenever you want. What is the initial thing which I want to share with you guys is that a bit of housekeeping things. So we are recording this session, so you will receive the recording on the email address which you have registered with. And yeah, and chat is on, you can ask the question. Okay, so moving forward to today's webinar topic, as the topic which basically was addressed by our customers.
We've been asked to do it last time.
Exactly. So we are listening to you guys, so feel free to post the question and maybe what you would like to see in the next webinar. So okay, so Dynamics 365 finance operations and store commerce, so CPOS testing end-to-end flow. So yeah, first we'll do a bit of introduction, guys, then we will present the store commerce, CPOS and MPOS, considering the backend testing, front-end testing, and like we said in the before during the introduction, end-to-end testing scenarios. Last but not least, question and answer sections. So yeah, pretty much this is it. So the stage is yours, Bart.
Thank you so much. Yeah, honestly, we've been on the CPOS for a while, and actually CPOS was the thing we started with on finance and operations. And lately there are a lot of changes around store commerce, and then actually this was pretty interesting for us as everything moved to websites. Right now on the basic information provided by Microsoft, you can see that the store commerce application right now has two ways of deployment, and the old MPOS and the CPOS. Right now actually is the store commerce, and the code, everything behind is the same. So for us, that's significant improvement, because everything what we're going to do testing of store commerce for web application will mean that you are able to do 100% of the business operations on store commerce on executive automats. So you can test everything the same way as you were doing testing CPOS. And this means that there are just small differences between CPOS and MPOS, which are not having some significant impact on business logic. There are definitely some other elements to consider, like the offline database. There are elements which are already outlined mostly in the documentation, which will not focus so much in details today. But the message is that you are able easily to perform test automation of store commerce if you are already client of executive automats. And today we're going to show you some showcases around that. We are also, since we've just visited GN, our customer, which is doing significant amount of testing. This is like 50,000 test cases in a month.
They basically run the records of the executions of our environment. So yeah, that's correct.
That's true. I think this is like 2 weeks. Each 2 weeks they do release of the code, which is something big. And they are using one of the finest features from ADO called release pipelines. So we're going to show you today just a brief sneak peek of what you can get out of that, considering CPOS. So this whole deployment options, configuration, and all details from technicalities are underneath the link. So we're going to share with you guys if you would like to browse in more details. But one of the most important elements is that they share the same code, and actually you are able to test that. We're going to record some sample test cases from FNO. So we're going to see how it works on FNO, and I will record some distribution schedule, which is pretty simple. Then we're going to go to the CPOS and the flow. So let me close down for a second the presentation, and let us jump into the executive automats. For those of you who are the first time with EA with us today, this is a web application hosted as a SaaS solution. You are able to record here practically everything what you can do manually in finance and operations, and also including applications like CPOS, store commerce, or everything which is in Dynamics family. The executive automats after the installation gives you the possibility to set up multiple endpoints, so system definitions, and then you go with the business processes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click start, and I'm going to record new test case for CPOS. So I just click new script. I'm going to select my project, which can be identified as a business area or place where you record something. We start with store commerce back office. So simply saying finance and operations. We're going to do job distribution schedule. One of the nice things is that the Azure Active Directory accounts and as well as system is automatically behind the scenes, behind the configuration. So you don't need to think where to record. This is a task for test manager or somebody who's administrating the executive automats. So me as a business user, I can simply jump in and record as normally as I do my job, as I do my business processes. This perk, this is way how we record test cases, gives you extremely nice value because you are able to engage business users, to transfer the business knowledge from them to you just by using the recording panel. Left-hand side, you see all steps, step-by-step process, how we're going to perform test cases. So now I'm going to go to retail. Definitely the first thing I will do is change the entity to USRT. Of course, you can define that in the link as well. So this is not mandatory step. You are able to change the links by system definition. But this changes of the entity gives you the chance to later on run one process against multiple entities, which can be awesome. And we've seen this is done very often on the customer sites. So I will jump into the retail commerce. I'm going to go to distribution schedule where we have all jobs, everything which is communicating the configuration from finance and operations towards the store commerce. So we can just run selected job like 1060 staff, and I can click run now and just confirm. or I can go with any other one. You can actually run 999 to execute all jobs, so send all messages to stores. And then if that's ready, I can go to the history. And then one of the things to know about testing in executive automations is that you can easily verify values. So aside of that, I can simply validate or run test case step by step. I can use this bullseye action here. We call it inspection. I am able to select everything which is visible, like either session number or status, and I can verify if in that moment in the test case, the status value is equal to my expectation. So I can check if condition in that moment will be equal to started. If not, just send warning. So by that, I can build a lot of validations, and that's a very important aspect because we care about successes, but let's validate if the transactions went through, if the statuses are correct. And finally, you are able to do negative testing. So you are able to create error messages to see how systems fail to convert that to success, because we want to know exactly how the user will be able to work with the system when it fails, to have perfect communication, like meaningful info log. When you're ready, you can simply stop the recording, and then the magic happens. You can just click play and go back. I see that I have here 2 more elements which I actually don't need, so I can simply erase them, or I can make them disabled or optional. System is very simple. This is just record and play. So this is more than joyful to run. Let's see how it's going to go. I can correct on the way if I'm going to have some elements which I don't need. And then after a few minutes, we're going to have finalized test case, and I can send it to test manager. So they will use that for day-by-day testing. Right now, system goes. I see system selected USRT, and this step is not needed. So we are able to correct that if needed. So record. This step is not needed. I can deactivate these 2 and play it back. This is how easy it is to modify and adjust these test cases. Restart. Every execution will be listed to logs files. Every error message which will be found can be converted to Azure DevOps tasks. So you can automatically, after test case execution, you can create a bug in the system. And then system will, on ADO side, somebody from business can pick up this and continue with triage to validate if the error message, if the bug is actually meaningful. As you see here, system went through, pick up the elements, and now the status is no data. So we have a warning. In that way, we have completed test case in a few minutes, and I'm able to pass this to the testing team. Let's focus now on other test case, which will be on CPOS. Let's close it down. Let's go to scripts again and click add to create CPOS process. Back office and store commerce. CPOS test transaction. In here, system automatically will pick CPOS, which means store commerce in our naming convention now. So maybe I'm going to correct that to store. The names are changing so fast from AX7 to FNO, FSCM that somebody can be lost very quickly on that. Yeah, and as you see, we are connecting to the virtual device. And the funny thing, or the goodness of aspect, that we are using Azure Active Directory accounts, and they are already authenticated. We are able to work with MFA. We are able to build few profiles where we execute test cases against the system. So I'm able to build one user with retail access, another one with no retail access, with something else to validate also security level of that.
It also gives us a possibility to test the workflows.
Exactly, yeah, that's a good point. You are able to build very complex workflow. So if you do purchase requisition, you would like to approve that. Exactly. That's the way to go. Let's log in as operator, 1230409, and hyper complex passwords. Now system logs into CPOS, and of course I can open new shift or perform a non-drawer operation. I can select any of those options, and as these elements may be optional in the process, I can automatically set them as step optional. Very often, system behaves like alternative paths. So the validation of the results give you not only possibility to check if something is equal to my expectation, but also you are able to do, oh, something happened, then go path A or go path B. So I'm able to make very intelligent test case, which will provide you answers for a situation where something wrong, not exactly how you planned. So we just start the transaction. I'm able to go to, let's say, categories. What do we want to take? What do you want to buy, Arfo?
Glasses.
Glasses. We've done so many tests today that I think we are out of the stock.
Out of the stock.
Let's go. Maybe you want a sweater.
Oh, maybe sweater. Yeah, the winter is coming, so yeah.
Yeah,
we'll it's a good idea.
That. So that's not a man one. Sorry, you're gonna wear this today. Let's take a proper size for ref. Size L, regular, color, only white. Not a lot of choices to make today. Let's add an item. Oh, shift is not currently assigned. The operation cannot be completed. And that's awesome. So we can find out that we have a negative scenario for us. So I can take the bullseye, check the outcome, and say that this is expected result. I can click with condition. So automatically system adds here a condition, and I can predefine a warning. I cancel it.
Yeah, because in often what we have, like often address the question considering the demonstration session of executive automats of our customers and prospects. They're asking us if the test case, it should be always positive. And this is like, this is a very good example that the negative test results are also positive test results. So yeah, because we want to check what will happen afterwards. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. And that's the point to find out more scenarios how you would like to test, not only to focus on happy paths, because the life is not about happy paths always. Something wrong goes on non-stopper. So that's true. That's a good point. So we just catch the status. I can go back with inspection and continue to save my process to have it ready. So now we can go playback and we will be able to see the execution. One of the nice features of executive automats is also background execution. So it doesn't mean that I need to watch that. I can close it and I can play it in background. So play, background, and I can also create documentation. So we work with different industries, starting with manufacturing, retail, of course. We work with pharmacy, military aviation. I think this year we reached 200 customers. That was the very nice milestone for us.
That's correct.
And pharmacy and also GXP customers, they have a lot of requirements from documentation and audit trails.
And trails, especially audits. Yeah, this is the issue.
Yeah, and we have to produce valid documentation that you've done the test on that day with following results. Conditions are met. The negative testing also is met.
Yeah.
So documentation is critical, and I think that's nice point that you were able to convert every process for documentation, and also consider that you have to perform testing for smoke tests and regression because you need to have end-to-end test cases. But also, since you have your test cases ready, you are able to get documentation ready. So considering one process, you have two side effects, two positive side effects.
Yeah, this is like unfair advantage of using the executive automats.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There are, of course, more like performance testing and so on, but this is something not for today. You can browse our YouTube channel where we have more webinars. Maybe not like this quality. Oh, we've been notified that we just succeeded with test execution on store commerce. Success, which means the negative scenario went with success. So the validation is completed. So I've executed test case just behind us on the server side were actually not behind so much. I mean, the server is probably in Germany, as we have used a lot of Hessner machines or Azure Cloud. So on the server side, it was executed. It went through the system, verified the transaction, and results is success. So we've passed the transaction. This can be scaled so I can run multiple transactions in the same moment, delivering results very quickly. I was also mentioning that the background execution gives you the doors to plan this very wisely, because I might want to run this not only today, as we are talking with Raf today about testing, but maybe Friday night as we're going to go for good coffee.
Good coffee, yes. Usually we are doing that. So
Or
yeah.
tea.
Or tea.
I may want to execute those test cases in the background in a very planned manner. Azure DevOps gives you that possibility to build release pipeline, and each of these releases can be treated as subsequent elements. So I can build one portion which can be executed. There is a connection to our Runner Executive Automat scheduler. So I can build number of test cases which are going to be executed on CPOS and back office. I'm going to come back here. So you can have distribution scheduler, so I can build all those presets for my transaction for CPOS, or replenishment, giving the stock giving the stock to the system, to the our storefront, and then I can consume those transactions on CPOS transaction. I can have CPOS back office transactions afterwards. So this can build your logic how to build a proper testing with prerequisites, data migration, and pre-configuration to make the testing right. And of course, the schedule is not set. I can make a release by time. So we can have 8 p.m. We take our glasses of tea
and
coffee.
then
and coffee, and then system goes with all test cases straight along the logic that we defined. Monday morning, we come back to the office and we can see step by step how system went through validation, delivering us everything that we wanted for our next release, which may happen on Wednesday, to have some buffer for triage, to not perform testing without triages. I mean, yeah, lucky world. So
this functionality also, I'm saying in terms of the scheduler and the connection with the pipelines, gives also the possibility of the performance testing, basically, to reflect real real business process, which are in day-to-day basis in your environment, considering the end-to-end testing scenarios. Am I right?
True. Fully true. And we have quite a bit of the nice case studies lately on performance testing. Not all of them, they are very public, that we can't tell so much about some project, but they are very, this is some R&D we do.
And what we should probably mention here also, because we are endorsed by the Microsoft as the only tool on the market which has this performance testing capabilities.
That's true. We have very nice track record of delivering after 1 day after go live testing for FNO and X 2012 to validate if your application is ready for go live. Even on Monday, we just accomplished a very nice complex execution of AX 2012 transactions connecting to finance and operations, and I think this was about 200 users in parallel executing processes on finance and operations. Following back to the presentation,
that's correct.
I'm going to go to other script. We can build multiple test cases for front end, for back end, and there are some test cases for end-to-end flows. So all the test cases can be combined into the end-to-end flow. So I can make a nested test cases in one test case. As you see here, I have scheduled distribution and CPOS transaction, which can go one by one, but we just did together transactions. So let's add a bit more to it. I just added another transaction to the system. So I have my store commerce test transaction, the negative path, and schedule distribution as well. Let's move this that direction. And let's delete the last, which we added before. And now, when we're ready, I can click Start and play back the end-to-end flow, which goes from finance and operations to CPOS. One of the nice aspects of testing in this end-to-end flows is that you can apologize, I'm losing voice a bit. So you can change the data between two test cases. So you can create a customer and take the customer ID and move it straight to sales order creation. Or in that case, you can create new item and make a replenishment for store commerce, and then move it straight to sell of the transaction, which is just new on stock. So new items and then sell it on store commerce. Yeah, and system right now logs into finance and operations and continues with job operations on the distribution schedule.
One of my personal favorite here, when in the visualization of the execution on the left side, there is a information what kind of linked script. I would say what steps the linked script has. So basically, you are able to see every detail of the execution. This is one of my personal favorites. It's not only the headline that this is the linked script and whatever, and you can see every single execution. So you are able to track everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. You can treat this as a step-by-step instruction how to perform a process.
Yeah. And Bart, because we have moved this topic regarding that we have get rid of the glasses in our demonstration environment. But as I know, always the customers which are using the executive automats, they are using them also for data preparation before the testing. So a bit not the testing, but robotic process automation, but preparing the environment. So yeah, guys, this is something which you can also be aware of, that not only the regression testing, but also the preparation of the environment for the testing purposes is.
Yeah, load transactions, load stock, build pricings, everything you can do before running the test case. Yeah. And as you see on the screen, system validates and ends the transaction from FNO to CPOS. All right. Having this done, I think we are completed the quick case study or showcase on both FNO and store commerce. And we're going to come back to the chat section to see if you have any questions for this part of the webinar.
And guys, before we go to the Q&A session, I would just want to mention that if you want to test by yourself to have the hands-on experience with CPOS testing, please follow to our webpage, executiveautomats.com, www.executiveautomats.com, too much dots. And go to the free trial program and book yourself a seat in this journey of automated testing. We will serve you with the 2 weeks free trial program, and you will be able to log in with the tool of ours to your environment and record the testing for the CPOSs. So feel free to do so. We are checking the questions right now. Just give me a second. Okay. Maybe there's a bit of lag also. But guys, if you have any question concerning what we have shown you so far, feel free to address it via chat section of LinkedIn or comment section of the YouTube channel. To be honest, I have the one question. So as Microsoft Bot is changing the structure of how we should prepare ourselves if we are the in the retail sector, and what kind of installation we need to have in the Dynamics environment. There was a significant, delay by Microsoft, unfortunately. That saying the store app and why if there is a chance that we have, because we have mentioned that about this logic testing. So if what we have seen so far gives us the ability to test the full business logic in the CPOSs, that means that with the results, we can ensure us and the environment preparation that it will be functional also on MPOSs. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, thanks to the new approach, testing of CPOS, I mean, the store commerce will equal to test both directions. So it doesn't matter which deployment type you've got. So this is a hybrid or on premises, it will be the same. So you can test business logic on the store web, it will be equal to MPOs testing.
Okay, so we can say that we are secured, even though we don't test the mobile device itself. We are secured. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I mean, the definitely there are some differences when you have different UI and you can test it. The good thing is that you are able to set up few websites also with mobile application version. So at the end of the day, even the MPOS version would be right now the Electron application type, which refers to sites. So everything goes to websites. That's the nice trend that gives us the nice heads up.
Okay. I have seen the comment with the question, but I think maybe they have a bit of lag. But this is like the question was here: is there a dedicated version of executive automats for CPOS?
We don't have a dedicated version, but there is a difference. What we've did for one of the customers, we've actually, we could say we hacked hardware station.
Okay.
And pretty much we've been able to send messages to the driver of hardware station and mimic in the test operation that you do on CPOS. We could mimic display or barcode scanner or MSR or the weight of the items. So we've been able to extend that, and we are working on applying that to new version of store commerce. So because of the changes, we are not able to do that so quickly right now, but we are fully prepared to do it in upcoming months. So if somebody will be interested in seeing that as a R&D for us, you'll be able to participate in the program of early birds where you see how the hardware station will work in the future. But this gives you a nice opportunity to perform testing on business logic, which is enhanced by operating with hardware station component like barcode scanner for retail, for fashion industry.
Okay. To be honest, I don't see more questions for this session today. Guys, we will appreciate if you will give us a bit of comments considering the quality of this today's session, definitely. Because this is something we are testing, to be honest. As we are familiar from testing, we need to test it always.
Yeah, that's the scenario where we wait for the negative feedback to make sure what we can change.
So feel free to do so because we are willing to receive any feedback of yours. Remember about the free trial program of our Executive Automats tool. We will share the link in the chat section. So with the moments of the time, feel free to click on it. And yeah, like I said, reserve you the best possible seat in the test automation journey with Dynamics environments. Bart, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ralph. Cheers from studio.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for hosting us today here. And enjoy the day.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you.